Okay, had a crazy night on Facebook. So luckily I jot down notes sometimes just to keep my thoughts focused. So I'm going to just review the messages that I got with as much detail as I can remember. I know I don't have the spirit with me right now, and then I'll post this on my channel. So first spirit I had was a gentleman. He came forward showing me tools. So tools were really significant. It was interesting. He showed me a tin pail, and then he was saying rin tin tin, which I know is the name of a German Shepherd that was rescued during World War I and brought to the United States. And then he was trained to actually be an actor, this dog, so a German Shepherd. So I felt that this spirit was a real leader. I felt that he was a grandfather figure. I had an H name connected with him. I thought maybe like Hank or Herbert, something like that. And I also know that he had a really strong connection, like with dogs, and he talked an awful lot about respect. Respect is really important to him, and it's about the idea of giving respect, receiving respect, and that was one of the things that motivated him to go into the army, was that whole idea of respect and being a leader. And I know he was very good with his hands, and he was saying to me that he would be someone that you would want on his team because he could use ordinary things to make something work. So for example, if you needed a certain part to make, I don't know, an engine work or a machine or something work, he could figure out something else to replace that to make it work. So that was really important. And he talked about his granddaughter. Oh, darn, and I just wish I could remember what the message was for the granddaughter, but I know there was a connection to the granddaughter. And oh yes, I remember now. He mentioned something about, making a decision, and that you're kind of like not quite aligned, you're kind of off kilter. And he's saying that you can do it, you can do it. He's saying, we are good decision makers in the family. So you got to just believe in yourself and make that decision and move forward. And I'll leave you with that. The next communicator I got, I felt it was a mother. I felt that she passed in her 60s. She specifically gave me the number 63. And she came through with showing birds. Birds were really significant. And she was showing me a finch, like a gold finch, a beautiful yellow gold finch. And she was giving me a memory of sitting on a chair and looking out the window, and there was the bird feeder, and there were the birds kind of landing on it. And I know she was like a real avid bird watcher. That was really important. And what else? And she spoke about like just observing and sitting in the chair and looking out window. And she was saying that she did this more and more as her health declined. She wasn't as mobile and like couldn't get outdoors. So she would look out the window. And then she spoke about like looking for her son or waiting for her son to come. And she mentioned that she's aware now that she would get confused, and that her daughter would be wonderful and kind of make her have a sense of peace and comfort and safety, and would not necessarily tell her things that she didn't need to know. So she's just acknowledging that and thanking her daughter for doing that for her. And she also wanted to acknowledge a grandson. And I felt that she did not meet the grandson on the earth plane, but that she's learning about him and getting to know more about him as she supports him and watches him on the other side. So that was really important about the grandson. And she's just thanking you for everything you did. And she realizes if there was challenges with her health or things that were particularly hard to hear, she's thanking you for sharing with her what was needed to be known. So you didn't burden her with things she didn't need to know. So she's thanking you for that, and she's acknowledging that. Another spirit communicator I had, I immediately got the name Kat, K-A-T, and I didn't feel it was like a cat. I felt that was a nickname for a person, and I felt that their name was like longer, like Catherine, Katrina, Cassandra, like it was a longer name. And I had a younger female energy, and I was getting the number 27 seemed significant around her age. 27 I was getting. And I was also getting this idea of like intervention and a feeling of like addiction with alcohol, with drugs, and that her loved one that's here, I felt like there was a very deep connection, if not family, like a friend that would go the extra mile for anybody. And she was just acknowledging how much you did for her. And she was talking about sometimes you just gotta do what you need to do, like follow the procedures as they're laid out. So she's aware of that now. And she was just acknowledging that she didn't follow the procedures she should have followed, which you were trying to get in place for her to help her. She also brought through a sunflower, was really symbolic and significant. She was holding a sunflower, holding it up to you, and she was just saying like better days are coming. She was acknowledging that you've been having a few difficult like weeks. I feel like it's maybe around the holidays and the new year. Oh, same old kind of thing. And she's just saying she's there, that she's supporting you and better days are coming. So it's like, keep the faith, right? Trust. And then the next spirit communicator I got the name right away, Donald. And then McDonald kind of dropped in there. I felt that he was a really kind of mellow gentleman, and he was really highlighting wood for me, and I kept seeing like medium oak color, and then I felt like he was talking about decisions that his wife had to make around, let me see if I can find the notes here, a decision that had to be made around like his casket, if that makes sense. But there's I don't know why he keeps taking my attention to casket. But there's some decision that had to be made about wood, the tint of the wood, and he was talking about medium oak tint. You made the right decision. And then he was laughing, saying, so concerned about this decision. It like really didn't make a difference to me, but just so you know, it's fine with me. So rest assured, you can know that you made the right decision. And then he was also talking about flowers. At first he showed me yellow flowers, and then he showed me white lilies. And I feel again, there was some decision about the flowers. At one time, there might have been a thought about, oh, we're going to have yellow flowers. And like, oh, no. I think it should be white. And then they were changed to white lilies. I know that this is a husband figure. I know that he wore glasses at some time, and he kept showing me himself like where he was and where he began, because he kept saying, wasn't I a good looker? He kept talking about how handsome he was, beautiful thick dark hair. And then he was showing me how he aged, the thinning of his hair, he had to wear glasses, thinning of the face. He was showing me like a cable knit sweater seemed to have some significance for him. And I know it had to do something too about being chilly, trying to stay warm. I feel that he passed in his 80s. He also brought up a memory of water, and it felt like a beach. I felt like it was like an ocean, because I'm seeing the waves lapping up on the beach. It could even be fresh water. I'm not quite sure, but I see a woman walking along the beach, having memories of this gentleman. And he's saying it's something that you did together. And he's saying keep doing that. He wants you to keep doing that. Do things that you would do together, because when you do that, it makes the veil thinner, and he can bring his energy and connect with you even stronger. So he's like, keep doing that, keep doing that. And he goes, you'll feel my energy. You'll know I'm there and I can inspire you. So that's pretty cool. And before he went, he just wanted to bring through, I felt it was like I kept hearing Humphrey. It felt like Humphrey, Humpty Dumpty. It was something like Humphrey, and he was just laughing about it. And I felt like it was a pet that's with him on the other side, that you need to know this. And I don't know, but the energy just felt like a dog. So I wanted to share that he has a dog with him on the other side. And he just brings through, lots of love, and you just need to know he's working on that connection. It's like you're both working on it. It's like the puzzle's coming together, And he's just so hopeful and happy about that, to be able to communicate with you. I'll leave you with all his love. And then the next communicator I had was a male, and I had an S name. I felt that maybe the mother's name I felt was an S. At first I thought maybe this message was for Sylvia. I felt it was a younger male. I felt a son. I feel a lot, there's some kind of gift he has, gift with his hands, gift with creating. And I feel a really strong pull to almost like technology, like doing things digitally, almost like animation. And I was getting an image of this dog, and I think the dog's name was Mr. Peabody. I don't know if you remember those really old cartoons from, I don't know, they could have been from the 70s, like Mr. Magoo, Mr. Peabody. So he just brought my mind to Mr. Peabody, and I believe he was like a dog that was like a detective. So there's something about Mr. Peabody that he wants me to bring up for you. He also just shared his love with you, and it was quite interesting because he was acknowledging all the giving that you gave to him in terms of love, nurturing, comfort, home, food, clarity, all those things that you were giving to him. And he's saying now that he's giving that all to you from the other side, he's saying now it's your turn to receive. And he really wants to bring you clarity. He wants you to bring you clarity and healing, the nurturing, the comfort, and something about home. He keeps talking about home. He wants you, it's like he wants you to find your home again, if you understand that. It's like you're I'm just trying to find the words to explain it. It's almost like, you feel like you lost your home, but you've always been there. That kind of thing, like with Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. Like you go to find your home, then you find out, I've always been there. So he just wants you to find that home again, that sense of safety and calm and peace, and just know that he's with you. And he's like, I adore you, I adore you. He's just saying, adore, adore, adore. He just keeps saying that. So he is with you. Thank you so much. And was that the last? Oh, then I had one more reading, and it was a gentleman. And he kept showing me like a ladder, and he was talking about slip, trip, and falls. He was showing me a ladder. He was talking about passing from, like, I felt like a head trauma, like a blunt head trauma from falling. I was getting the image like of a tree outdoors, like an apple tree with a ladder, and it's like going up the ladder. It's almost like to do something in the tree, like grab apples, cut a limb, rescue a cat out of the tree, something about going into a tree, and there was some kind of a mishap. he wanted me to bring that up. He also talked about food was really important. He highlighted it like a big pot. I felt like it was like either chili or stew his wife would make from scratch. And he talked about how him and his wife were like old school, traditional way. And like they used to be kind of like teased for that. It's like, come on, get with the program, get contemporary. This is the way we do it now. You can go out for dinner. You don't have to cook everything from scratch, etc. And he's saying, now look how the world is. It's going full circle. So we knew all along. He's saying, I knew all along. This is the way that it should be. So that's very important. And he keeps saying, we had it right. And I know that he wants to connect with his daughter, and that's part of this message about we had it right. So I feel there's some message for the daughter. I feel that this gentleman gave some advice about relationships, something really important in the daughter's life. I keep being drawn to relationships and a male. So there might have been some question about like, should I marry him? Should I stay with him? What should I do? And your father gave you advice, and he's saying, see, it took time, it took years, but I was right, wasn't I? I was right. It all worked out. So he's just identifying that he was right, and he's just smiling. He's smiling so much about that. And he wants you to, I'm just reconnecting with him again. He just wants you to remember like some of the traditional things that your parents would do, like their traditional values, the way they live their life, because I feel this is really important for you in terms of your sense of, let's say, harmony, peace in the world, like kind of let go of stress. You know what I mean? It's like, don't be so much, what's he saying, like in the digital fast-paced world, get this, do this, do this. Sometimes you just have to sit and be at peace. So we just want you to remember that. And he's saying, tell your mother I love her. He's saying that. Love her. Yeah, and I'll leave you with all his love. So those were the 6 readings that I gave without any feedback. So I hope some of you can take them. I'm going to figure out what the problem was. I looked quickly on the internet, and it said something about if YouTube recognizes copyrighted music, they will shut down the event. And you know what? I think that's what happened when I played that song by Neil Young. That was a sign from my parents during the holidays. So I might have done the whole situation. So I apologize about that. And I will not be playing music again. So just a reminder, let me just get my notes here since I'm doing a little spiel here. So thank you everyone for trying to log in and trying to stay with me. I really appreciate that. And I do appreciate the opportunity of working with your loved ones in spirit. They sure hung on there, even though the audience disappeared. It's an honor to be able to work in service for the spirit world. Just a few announcements. My beginner mediumship development class begins January the 18th, and my advanced class begins on the 13th of February. I also offer mentorship, personal readings, etc. I'm going to be a guest speaker and a demonstrating medium on January the 28th at the Church of Universal Love in North York, Toronto. And on February the 4th, I'm going to be at the First Spiritual Church of Galt in Cambridge, Ontario. If you want to know any more details about any of my spiritual services or events, please go to my website at wendydeangelo.com. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful week, and we can catch up next week. No problems next week. Thanks. Take care.